pride in what we do, in talking with our clients, and helping in any way, shape, or form that we can. So for example, at the SBDC in Long Beach, the advisors with whom I work, we all have our sort of different areas of interest, different areas of expertise, and you come to the SBDC, you meet with us on a one-on-one basis, and it costs you absolutely nothing. It's free. Free, well, except for $2 for parking, okay? But other than that, it's free. Pardon me?
You don't validate?
We do not validate, because that would require a business plan, marketing plan, and it's too complicated, so we can't validate. But thank you for suggesting that. We also offer workshops, and those do come with a little bit of a price, depending on the workshop, maybe 20 or 30 bucks, but that's sort of how to start your own home-based business, understanding social media, understanding marketing. These workshops are fantastic, so it's a tremendous resource to use the SBDC and to use the advice of the advisors. None of us has all the right answers, but we do have a lot of experience between all of us, and we help each other out. So for example, if I work with somebody in marketing and then that person really needs to talk about how to secure a loan and do financing, then I might refer that person to our advisor, Nate Jemison. Or if I have a client who's particularly in need of maybe having a dual conversation in English and Spanish, I'll refer him or her to Charlie Lowe, who is bilingual and also a very good-looking guy. So, you know, the combination works very well. But Charlie has infinite amounts of experience in business and can speak in English and in Spanish. So on and so forth. It's very useful. My areas of interest are leadership and management and operations and marketing. And when I was thinking about what I wanted to talk about this morning, and I'm only going to be talking for a couple of hours, so I don't have a lot of time to share with you all this information, I thought I would talk about leadership and management, and how leadership and management pertain to small business and business in general. And I picked the topic because I know very well that when it comes to management, when it comes to leadership, we gloss over it because it's such an overwhelming concept, such an overwhelming issue in our lives, whether we're running businesses or we're managing departments within businesses or we're supervisors within businesses or if we're just managing ourselves. The whole notion of leadership and management is, it can be a little bit of a conundrum, and then you have to start thinking about, all right, what are we going to do as far as job functions go? We have an organization chart, but do we have a really solid delineation of what every job function is? In the sales department, is there a VP of sales and a director of sales? In the finance department, is there a director of finance and also an accounting clerk? You know, what are the different job functions? And then you dial down even more deeply than that, and what are the actual job descriptions? If you're really doing it well, you want to manage well, you want to have not only the job functions, you want to have very, very detailed descriptions of every single job description. Qualifications, responsibilities, and particularly the responsibilities, right? Really dial down because that's going to add clarity later on. Everybody in the organization should know what everybody's responsibilities are. Charlie does this, Freddie does that, Sheila does this, Arthur does that. And I'm telling you that the confusion in this level of clarity is real. I'm not just talking about, I'm not making it up. People just don't seem to have they don't seem to necessarily take the time to really outline what these things need to be. Because once you know what the job functions are, once you know what the job description is, right, then you can actually start to think about hiring. And if you're thinking about hiring, you have to have a solid understanding of why am I hiring? Why am I making the decision to hire somebody? Do I really need somebody? And if I do need somebody, do I know what this person is going to do? Have I thought through what the function is going to be? What the job description is going to be? Have I thought through how this person is going to add value to my organization? Have I thought through what kinds of goals and principles I want this person to be able to have to be a really great representative of my organization? Hiring is obviously complicated and very difficult. I have a friend who runs a mechanic shop in Long Beach, and he is a self-professed lousy hirer. So he gives it to his wife who does the hiring. Because he meets people, he has no idea, and doesn't have the wherewithal, he doesn't have the patience for it. But it's a very complicated thing for him because he ends up hiring, in many cases, the wrong people. Because he hasn't thought through what the functions are. He hasn't thought through what the job descriptions are. So to hire, you need to have all the previous stuff we've been talking about first before you can make a good hiring decision. Then once you hire, you have to keep keep buying into it, and you have to train people. Am I going to hire somebody? Am I going to train that person if that person needs training? And once I've trained that person, am I going to stick with that person and observe that person in action consistently? And then am I going to review that person to make sure that person understands that he or she is actually valued in the organization? One of the greatest traits of leadership is making it clear that the people that work with us and for us are actually valued. There's nothing worse than going to work and thinking no one cares. Has anybody ever been there? Have you ever gone to work and thought no one cares? Anybody? Anybody? Okay. Has anybody? I mean, this is the way, and that's so ridiculous. It's absolutely ridiculous. There's nothing worse than thinking that no one cares. So the reviewing is critically important, okay? Then once you've got reviewing out of the way, as it were, it's a consistent thing, then you can get into understanding how to deal with conflict resolution. There's conflict in any organization. It's just the nature of the beast. It doesn't matter if you've got the perfect people that you've hired based on mission and vision and all that stuff. There's always going to be conflict. But there's going to be less conflict if you've done the hiring correctly. There's going to be less conflict if you've been clear about your vision, if you've been clear about your mission. There won't be no conflict, but there'll be less conflict. And one of the great ways to avoid or to handle conflict is to take on the role of seeking first to understand and then to be understood. Seeking first to understand and then to be understood. That is the huge, huge thing when it comes to resolving conflict. That comes from another of my great teachers, Stephen Covey, who wrote The 7 Habits of Highly Effective People, another masterpiece, right? But when you think about it, it's such a simplistic thing, but it's so brilliant. Seek first to understand the situation, and then to be understood. You might have two people who work for you who are conflicted with each other. Are they seeking first to understand, to be understood? And are you taking the role of arbiter to really understand and then deciding what to do? Right? So once you have that under control, which is also something that's a consistent thing, that's the nature of the beast, then it leads to the most important part of the whole enchilada, which is customer service. You cannot have great customer service without good leadership and good management. You cannot have great customer service if you don't know who you are with your vision. You cannot have great customer service if everybody working for you in the organization doesn't understand the game. There's just no way to do it. And if you go into any place that has great customer service, let's use In-N-Out Burger, for example. I could stand in an In-N-Out Burger for 3 hours and not eat and just watch them. It's unbelievable how great it is. Not to mention the fact that the burgers are great, right? But you watch In-N-Out Burger, you don't ever see a scowl on anybody's face. You walk up to the register and it's a pleasant and genuine welcome. There's no bullshit, right? It's real. Everybody's in a pristine outfit, clean, and everybody knows what they are supposed to do, and they know how to do it. That, ladies and gentlemen, doesn't happen because they rolled out of bed and thought, let's just give it a shot, right? They're well led. There is no lack of clarity about what the vision of that organization is. There's no lack of clarity about what the mission is. Zero lack of clarity. In fact, there's so much clarity that it's the success that it is. It also helps that they have a great product, right? It's not a bad thing, right? So customer service is where we all want to be, obviously. We want to be providing great services to our customers in order to be proud of what we do. But all of this is a circle, the circle that I've left for all of you on the table. I call the circle of leadership and management. And you need to be consistently focused on it. You can't just say, I'm done with the reviewing, I'm done with the mission, It's a consistent thing. It's an energy thing that goes on. And it's a good thing. It's a good type of energy. Don't think of it as a bad thing. And if you look at it in those terms, as simplistic as they are, at least it's a starting point, right? And so that's what I wanted to just share with you this morning. I want to do what Charlie wants to do.